fellas, Cinema back, another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, and wonderful. As you see on your screen, your dial, however you are unfortunately choosing to join me today, the boxer from Shantung. Am I saying that right? Probably not. Take a drink. This is the second installment in the Shawscope Shaw Brothers collection from Arrow Video. The Shawscope Shaw Brothers collection, Volume 1. So hopefully there's just like 10 volumes, because that would be fucking awesome. And Shaw Brothers has the content in the catalog to back it up. That's for show. Yes, so this is part 2 in my 12-part series of the Shawscope Shaw Brothers collection, Volume 1. I refuse to just review the box set as a whole. I find that to be lazy, members of the audience, and also critics who get the same shit sent to them as I do. I feel like you're lazy to say, oh, this box set is great in 3 paragraphs and call it a day, and you get a free $80 product. The least you could do is work for it. I mean, I would feel wrong to not do every movie by itself in this box set. I mean, that box set is like $120, $150, and I promise you a year from now, it'll be infinitely more. Now, you could make the argument, what's the point? If, we're not going to have physical media and Blu-ray players and on and on and on, 5, 10 years from now, I would listen to that point. You're probably right. But in the meantime, put the work in. Put the work in. Yes, so we're continuing the Kung Fu trend today with the boxer of Shantung, and it is a goddamn epic for 1972. It had everybody that not everybody, but most people that you could think or that were popular during that era is either in this movie, helping make this movie, or affiliated in some way, shape, or form. I mean, shit, we're not even talking Shaw Brothers. John Woo was the second assistant director in this. Who's John Woo? Hard Boiled. Come on now. The killer, which was interesting. I actually didn't know that he was the second AD on this one, but no surprise, the fight sequences, and there's like 10 or 11 of them. That's how epic this is, and all of them are motivated, mind you. This isn't just we're throwing fists and kicks for shits and gigs. Fists and kicks for shits and gigs. Leaving the poverty of his life in Shantung to seek fortune in Shanghai, the boxer is instead drawn into a world of corruption, gang warfare, and evil, where his only protection is his famed fighting. And, I mean, the list of people in this film are fucking absurd. Like, if we're talking, people from Shaw Brothers of note, fucking absurd. You got Kaun-Tai, who plays Ma Young-jin. You got Ching Lee, the love interest, who plays Jing Lindsay. You got David Chiang, who is hugely popular as Boss Tansi. You have Kang-Yeh as Xiao Jingbei, who is Ma's best friend. Chiang, who plays Boss Yang. This is going to go on for a while now. And if for nothing else, just to test, I like to practice. I like to practice on how I say these names horribly. I like to practice so much, never get better, so that people can DM me and be like, you know how much of an idiot you are? Yes, I do. Yes, I certainly do. You can still tell me that. I'm aware of it. I'm aware I'm a piece of shit. You got Feng, who played Feng. You got Feng, who plays Cheng Fa. You got Ching, who plays Li Kaixun. Wang Ching, who plays Lu Pu. Mario Milano, who played the Russian muscle man in this. Boy, what a fucking perfect visual of just that when you see who I'm referring to, it's just, I don't know. That whole sequence is so a part of its time and so well executed. Yeah, but Mario Milano plays the Russian muscle man. Chan Ho, who plays Jin Lingzi's uncle. Li Mentai, or Mentai Li, the innkeeper. Lu Wai, Shum Lo, Bruce Tong, Liang Song-wan, Wang Chung, Wang Kuang-yu, Fun Hak-on, Tang Tak Chung. Okay, we don't need to go through all of these. There's just the amount of people in this, whether it be cameo or otherwise, like David Chiang, arguably, nearing the height of David's rise to stardom. And I love that he's a character in this, but it's a slight bit more than a cameo, but, not a main character at all. And I think it just kind of adds, to the epicness that is this film, and it is. It's like 2 hours and 14 minutes. Most of these films average about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, and donezo. And this one moves very brisk for a 2 hour and 14 minute film. So, Boxer from Shantung follows Ma Yongjin and Jiao Jingbai. Ma and Jiao are manual laborers busting their tails in Shanghai. And we see Ma's first encounter with the crime lord Tang who's played by David Chiang, which is a really nice scene, and also a very because when you're a martial artist, I don't know if you know this or not, but you basically you're on the defense for the rest of your life, especially if people think that you're going to become champion. It's no different. Times have not changed. There's always going to be some asshole out there ready to challenge you, trying to take the crown. Quick and the Dead. I don't know why, of all things that I could have referenced, I referenced Sam Raimi's Quick and the Dead. What is... Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the fuck's wrong with me, dude. Quick and the Dead. Quick and the Dead. So, Ma meets Tanzi for the first time and has a very downplayed but technically sound back and forth sparring session with Tanzi, because Tanzi is like, hey, you want to clean my carriage? And Ma's like, fuck you. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. And Tanzi's like, well, you look like a fucking bum laborer who doesn't even have his own home to me. And he would be right. Step by step, Ma earns the respect of everyone he meets, either with a test of strength, of character, either with his strength of character, or of course, the easy one, beating everyone up who he sees. Oh, you got a problem? I'll kick that ass right quick. When he gets, he does get his really big break into the crime world once he thumps that Russian bodybuilder, Russian strongman sequence after he beats that ass. It should be noted that the Russian strongman, literally, I think it's 2 or 3 people he makes bleed from the mouth, and a lot of mouth, to the point of the blood. So much blood in this. I love that. I am trying to get like my horror fans, my horror fan friends, to get into some of these older Shaw Brother films, because I don't think you know just how fucking brutal this film is. For example, I'm not going to ruin the ending, or at least from an emotional standpoint, but I kid you not, ladies and gents and members of the audience, however you identify, Chen Quanti Chen, his final sequence is about 17 minutes long, 15 to 17 minutes long, that he is fighting, right? He is fighting with an axe in his belly. Obviously, it's not real, but could you imagine the tediousness that you would have to approach the blocking in that particular, in that whole final scene? I can't imagine, and it wasn't really addressed in the bonus features of this one, and I was kind of bummed that this one didn't have a commentary on it, but, it is what it is. Arrow, this one's still packed with, yeah, got close to 2 hours on this disc alone in bonus features, but I would be very interested to know just how long that final 20-25 minute sequence took to shoot, because there's no fucking way that was another day at the office, just clock in, clock out, no fucking worries. It's an impossibility, especially when you just have so much matching to do, just like with the blood alone of Kaun-tai Chen, just the blood alone, like it would be very difficult, people that don't know the ins and outs of filmmaking, very fucking difficult. But the Chinese, they'll bust that ass and they'll stay till the job's done. Makes a Chinese reference with a fucking English accent. So Tang, played by David Chiang, he kind of is a role model, someone that Ma Yangjin looks up to. And once he beats that Russian's ass, so there's a little character gimmick that David Chiang has where he has a long cigarette holder, and he's always kind of gnawing on the end of it. Well, Ma Yangjin picks up this kind of character trait after he beats that Russian strongman's ass. So he is trying his best to become Tansi. However, he is mindful, Ma Yangjin is mindful of his humble beginnings and of the fact that times are still tough for many in Shanghai. He shares his good fortune with old fellow wage slaves, one of those, Jiao Qiangbei, which he tries to get to go home several times. Like, you're not a part of the crime world, dude. Just go home. You don't need to be here. I don't need your help, but more importantly, because I care about you, I don't want you to be fucking hurt, man. I don't want you to get fucking hurt. He shares his good fortune with his old fellow wage slaves, and when they assist him in his various extra-legal activities, his various crime evil doings, he lectures them on the futility of trying to extort money from people who simply don't have any money to spare. In fact, his love interest, even though it doesn't come to fruition, there's a really good scene of emotion where Ching Li, his love interest, once he takes over the tavern that she sings at, you would think that there is going to be this romance that starts up. However, she's not having any of it. Reason being is she just views him, Jing Lingzi, played by Ching Li, she just views him as another fucking crime lord. Like, hey, that's cool and all that you seem to have some affection for me, but the fact of the matter is, we're just trading one boss for another. You know how the story goes, right? Members of the audience, you know how that goes. So she's really not having any of it. And the reason why I bring it up is emotional. It's very sad as you see the film continue and how that particular relationship unfolds or doesn't unfold. And I think I often think with a lot of these Shaw Brother films, Cheh, the director who did, you know what, let's not lie to the people. How many films did Cheh do as a director? 95 films as a director. So Cheh being able to, you know when you're looking at the goods in terms of weaving this action period piece drama in making you feel, like, don't get me wrong, I like brainless action just as much as anyone, but the older I get, I got to care more. I think that's why John Wick resonated, not only with the masses but myself. Like, I have to care about you. Like, the days, my late teens, early 20s, and just seeing the physicality of a, cinema martial artist or whatever, it doesn't do much for me anymore. It's like, I always go back to this one. Do you guys remember, what was it called? I did an episode, Crazy Samurai, 100 versus 1. The concept of it, so basically the big hubbub about Crazy Samurai 100 versus 1 is that there's an 82-minute one-take shot. Yes, I said that right. 82-minute one-take. Problem is, it is way too early on where that just feels like a bunch of friends out playing around in the woods, and it just doesn't do so, full circle. The physicality, I can only do so much, like, especially if you are going to do something like that, one, you better put the time and effort into the pre-planning of it all. Otherwise, 20 minutes in, that shit's going to feel stale. But there was no real emotion until the end. It was just like, hey, check it out. Like, to me, what I had watched that day was no different than a fucking YouTube video, where, like I said, friends are getting together and messing around with play swords in the woods. I just, the tea house that Ma and his underlings frequently employ, or frequently visits. Jing, well, I already told you about that. Jing Linzi, her uncle, who provides the music. Miss Jin's hopes that Ma's arrival will make a turn for the better, for conditions in the crime-plagued city are dashed when she ascertains that he isn't different enough from the other bosses. She's seen enough rise and fall. Tan, so Tan Tzi, David Chiang's character, meets an unfortunate end. He is ambushed by one of his friends. And the sequence that ensues after that, the fight that ensues after that, is top-notch. It's top fucking notch. But Ma Yangjin finds Tan Tzi, his role model, dead. And of course, shortly thereafter, because he is fighting amongst they're called the four champions, he gets an invitation from the evil boss that just, whether Tanzi's in power or Man Yangzhen, we got to get rid of you. So he receives an invitation to go discuss the new gang territory business at his hotel. Ma's followers warn him about the meeting with Chang and that it could be an ambush. But, of course, Ma Yangzhen's like, I'll beat that ass. I'm going anyway. What else do we got here? So he goes to, after Tang Zi's dead, and he goes to the tavern to discuss what is next. Let's see. As Chang, the evil guy, offers him a job. Maybe offers him a job is a little too much, but basically Mang Yangzhen's like, so the only reason I actually came to this meeting right now is because you killed Tan Tzi. And because you killed Tan Tzi, well, I'm going to have to kill all of you. And that is where the beginning of the end for Mang Yangzhen goes down. I will not tell you. All I will say, I already alluded to the fact that it is, don't quote me on the time, but it's definitely in double digits for how long that final fight sequence when he's got the hand axe in his belly. Yes, there is an axe gang, which he has broken the axe gang's leader's arm twice, I think, in this film. Great choreography. Four Champions is who Chang is the head of. Great choreography throughout this whole fucking film. I believe there was 2, 3, maybe even 4 people doing the choreography on here, and it's all different styles. So, kind of the rub with Shaw Brother films or Kung Fu films during that day is that there was never a guarantee that what you were seeing was an actual discipline, or that even those on screen were disciples of said discipline. So, but in this one with Kaun-tai Chen, our main character, he was a real martial artist in real life and had his own grandmaster, and his actual grandmaster, I forget what the discipline he studied. It was like Pekwar, P-K-W-A-R, or Pekwan, I can't remember, but basically what his grandmaster said. It was kind of like the Bruce Lee approach to it. Is you can't just do your own discipline. If you're going to be a successful martial artist, you have to learn from everybody. You have to take from every discipline. So I believe, there's like 4 or 5, maybe even more. I'm probably lowballing it. Different disciplines that you are seeing Mang Yang exude throughout this film. And for I watch UFC on my off time, so I'm just a fan of martial arts in general. I'm a fan of the chess match. And to see someone who, first of all, it is such a, this movie's from 1972, and I'm here to tell you guys, it is, these action sequences, I think you have to get used to it. You have to watch a few Shaw Brother films and fight sequences to kind of get comfortable, not only with like the sound effects, because I know a lot of people, when I've sat them down and showed them an old Shaw Brothers film, whether it be the sound of, the hits being given, that's humorous to them or, whatever. But in terms of the discipline, there is so much in here to be like, oh, that's real as fuck. That's so plausible, as opposed to a fucking American action flick where a car drives off a bridge and then the person driving the car, as the car's in midair, gets out through the window and then stands on top of the hood and shoots 3 people headshots as the car's going into the water. It's just whatever. And I go back and forth like that stuff's fine, but I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards like Marvel stuff now, where then it's okay for me. What I mean by that is, so let's compare a Marvel film to say like Bad Boys. So Bad Boys, at least the characters are rooted in reality, right? But what you're seeing them do is just bananas. It's come on, that's silly. Shaw Brother films and a lot of films out of the East, they just don't do that. In Marvel, for me, it's forgivable because none of the characters are real or rooted in reality. I mean, I guess they are to an extent, but like, when those epic battle sequences are happening, I don't need to see awesome mixed martial arts. If any of this is making sense, and if it's not, DM me and be like, do you know how stupid you sound? And yeah, I shouldn't even have a show, to be honest with you. The only good thing about this show, and it's hard for me to even say this, is the sound of my voice. That's it. I have a face for radio. But I don't know. Just DM me. Tell me what you think. Like, wouldn't it be a lot cooler to see Will Smith or Martin Lawrence? Look, I know they're 50 plus, but like, I don't know. Let's see some cool hand-to-hand combat. Now, Bad Boys for Life, the character who plays Will Smith's son, you got to see some good hand-to-hand combat, but it's very brief, before the explosions start and the car chases and all that stuff. And I don't know. To me, let's have it lean more heavily on the reality side of things than crash, crar, boom, bang, whatever. Anyway, dispute it with me. I would love to hear, because I'm looking at some of my notes here, like the alleyway fucking fight. This is so good. It is so complex in how it's executed, and mad props to fucking Muto Kung and Ting-Bang Yuan, or Yung Ting-Bang Kung Muto, for the cinematography, and I've said it on the show before, martial arts don't look good on screen unless the choreographers, who in this case, Tang Chia, Liang, who is huge, Lucia Young, also huge, Chung, also huge. If the cinematographer and those choreographers are not on the same fucking page, stupid. I think one of the best depictions of choreography and cinematography clicking on all cylinders, The Raid. So, and I know a lot of people that are my friends that listen to this show. It's like, Jesus Christ, he's talking about the raid again. I'm not going to talk about the movie. I'll just talk about the technical part of it. Relax. I urge you people to go back and watch that film and specifically pay attention to the shots that were elected to be used during those sequences. If the cinematography is subpar in those sequences, the entire movie suffers. For me, you know, like, again, just think about what I said about 100 versus 1 Crazy Samurai. I don't want to see a bunch of people fucking who smoked a bowl and now are going to fucking dance around in the woods. If you haven't seen that film, I'm sure that statement is like, it's hard to understand. But again, watch Boxer from Shantung. I believe it's on Apple TV right now. You can stream it for free. It used to, a lot of these Shaw Brother films used to be on Amazon Prime, and then I think they removed them. But and don't quote me on this, I'm sure all of this stuff is playing on the Arrow player, which is only $9.99 a month. Don't quote me. But I'm sure that you can find these on the cheap. And I would urge you, like, if you're a horror fan or an action film fan, one of the two, Boxer from Shantung kind of gives it all. Now, one thing that never seems to translate well for me from the East is the humor, but I've seen so much stuff now, I've learned to forgive it. Because it's just a different culture. But I can remember some of the first action comedies out of the East that I saw. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I believe in Iceman with Donnie Yen. Don't quote me, but they have to get a frozen dick. I'm not kidding. I'm almost positive that, like, the tool to everyone's salvation in Iceman is a frozen dick of some, like, ancient god. Nope, not kidding. Not kidding at all. So, the bonus features on the Boxer from Shantung. First of all, check out that fucking artwork if you get a chance, because the artwork for each of these films inside that box set, fucking crazy good. We got the brand new 2K restoration by Arrow Films from a 4-scan of the original negative. High-definition Blu-ray presentation. Newly restored uncompressed Mandarin and English original mono audio. And one of my favorite parts of this, newly translated English subtitles for the Mandarin audio. Plus English hard of hearing subtitles were there. The reason why the subtitles are, if you didn't listen to the first show, the reason why the subtitle remastering the subtitles is so important to me. I have bought countless stuff from all over the world, really, and I can say the common theme amongst all that is how shitty the translation and subtitles are. Like, there are stuff that I've bought, like, I don't know if it's bootleg, but I bought it specifically from Hong Kong, and the subtitles are so bad, like, you kind of have to, like, imagine yourself what's going on. It just kind of, not that it's hard. Like, I mean, at its core, we're talking about action films here. But at the same time, like, when Arrow goes and remasters the subtitles for someone like me, that's good. That's good. Interview with star Chen Kaun-tai, filmed in 2007 by Frederick Ambrosine, and he actually films all the bonus features in this. Interview with assistant director John Woo, who obviously many cinephiles from the West know who fucking John Woo is. Interview with star David Chang, filmed in 2003. Also, conversations between stars Chen Kaun-tai and Feng. Feng was one of the villains. I believe he was the head of the Axe Gang. Filmed at the Shaw Brothers reunion in 2007. And then you got the Hong Kong and German theatrical trailers plus a TV spot. And I thought that there was an alternate close on this, but I guess I'm wrong. I thought there was either an alternate opening credit sequence or an alternate ending, but perhaps I'm wrong. So that's number 2. Boxer from Shantung in the Shawscope Shaw Brothers Collection Volume 1 from Arrow Video. Boy, that's a mouthful. Shawscope Shaw Brothers Collection Volume 1 Ellis Cinema Arrow Video. Number 2. 10 more to go. Fuck. God damn it. Ella Cinema, Arrow Video, Shaw Brothers, gone.